Welcome back to The Morning Blend. Finding Your Fairy Tale is a behind-the-scenes documentary that showcases 13 local survivors who have overcome significant adversity, including mental illness, chronic disease, addiction, and traumatic life experiences. Their goal is to inspire others to keep fighting and to believe that happily ever after is still possible.
I love it. We're joined now by the creator. It's Angie Kupper, along with two of the women featured in the film, Retzlaff and Misti Hawn. Welcome to The Morning Blend, you guys.
Thank you.
Hello, princesses.
Yes. Hello. Good morning.
Great to see you.
We wish you would have dressed up.
Yeah.
But since you didn't, we'll have to explain why you're here.
It's a little early for us.
Talk a little bit about the motivation behind this and what exactly the concept is.
Yeah, so basically we wanted to give people hope that happily ever after is still attainable despite whatever obstacles they might face. So what we did was we reconnected people with the classic fairy tale characters but gave them a more realistic story, something that people can relate to. And instead of saying, you know, you're not a princess because you're not perfect, we're saying you are a princess because you've overcome your struggles.
I love that. And I love the idea of using, I don't know if you would say humor, but something sort of sweet and idyllic, a fairy tale, to kind of explain the complexity of life, the difficulty, and the will to overcome, and the empowerment that you feel. So let's talk a little bit about each one of your stories. Your story is your Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
And it's because you actually have narcolepsy,
I do,
right?
yeah.
Which is, how do you describe it to someone who doesn't know what narcolepsy is?
It's a chronic sleep disorder that basically causes me to fall asleep at inopportune times. Before I was diagnosed, I was falling asleep 20, 30 times a day. It could last anything from a few seconds to several minutes. And most people with narcolepsy go at least 10 years before they're diagnosed, and that's the case for me.
Do you know it's coming on, and do you fully go out?
I didn't used to know it was going on, which was really scary.
Yeah.
But now that I've been diagnosed and I'm on medications and I have a better sleep schedule, I can kind of feel when it's coming, so I do take afternoon naps and try to schedule it so that it doesn't take over.
So you would probably fall asleep, what, at school?
Yes. Behind the wheel a few times.
I was going to ask
actually.
you about that.
Never to the point that caused an accident. It was usually only a few seconds, but it was terrifying.
Huh.
And it was so embarrassing because I've always been very motivated and school was very difficult. I've never read a textbook to save my life. Like I just couldn't do it. I paid all this money for my textbooks and just never read them. I fell asleep in class constantly. I actually in high school was caught taking notes while I was asleep. So it was like this in-between state where I'm conscious but not conscious. So it was a challenge, but once I was diagnosed, it was kind of a weight off my shoulders that I finally at least knew what was going on. And
Very frustrating.
Yeah.
Red Riding Hood, what's your story about?
I am a domestic abuse survivor. I was in an abusive relationship for 15 years, and unfortunately in the United States, 1 in 3 women are said to be in an abusive relationship. So my story is that I just decided one day that I was, started to question, like Red Riding Hood, this can't be right. This can't be what I deserve. I can't be everything that he's saying. It can't be my fault. And once I started questioning that and started looking at how it was affecting my children and the chaos in my household, I finally just walked out with the kids and the clothes on my back and haven't looked back since.
Good for you.
Alice in Wonderland.
I struggled with a heroin addiction for the better part of 2 years. I went through rehab for about a year, and I've been sober for about 8 years, so my story is going down the rabbit hole and finding my way back up.
Good for you. That is incredible. Yeah. How do you feel about the fairy tale aspect of all of your stories?
I love it. It's so inspiring. These women just give me all the hope in the world, and men as well. So we have a Prince Charming on our team.
Oh, you do?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And the video
photo
trailer, the photo
that
shoot.
you guys is incredible. I mean, the costumes, the styling, I mean, the video shoot that you did, everything is just so beautifully done, and you're looking for people to help you complete this project. It's a big part of what you're doing. The Kickstarter campaign just goes through Friday?
through Friday at midnight, yeah.
Okay.
We need to raise enough money to finish the documentary. I have no experience in documentaries or film, but I was inspired to put the project together. We really are just an independent team. We are not a production company. So we're doing everything on our own. And we just need just under $4,500 to finish the documentary.
That's not a whole lot. People can help with that.
Yeah.
What's the best way for people to help you, and how can they do that?
Yeah, right now we have a Kickstarter campaign that goes through Friday at midnight. And you can go on, you can actually, it's not just donations, you can buy into the project. So for a $25 donation, they'll get our 2017 wall calendar with all of the images. For $50, they can get a download of the documentary when it's released. So really every little bit counts. We're trying really hard to produce the documentary because I think it's a message people need to hear.
Absolutely. It's such a cool concept.
Yeah.
Great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Here's how people can help support you. They can go to your Facebook page to find the Kickstarter campaign. It's Finding Your Fairytale Project. If you go to facebook.com/that, Finding Your Fairytale Project, you can find more about the documentary and also a way to support them through their Kickstarter campaign. Thanks for being here, you guys. Thanks for telling your stories.
You're all perfect. And that's what I love. You're perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect.
I love the
perfect
way
is boring.
I love the way you embrace that. It's awesome. Thank you guys so
We did
much.
bring something for you ladies.
No way.
You guys are after my heart.
She was a Miss Minnesota. I don't know if you know that. So she's
God,
used to
this
wearing a
feels
crown,
good.
but not me.
It feels so good.
And there's something about a tiara or a crown that makes somebody feel confident and empowered.
Am I wearing mine wrong?
It is so true, girlfriends.
You have
It's
to
true.
hold your head high
I
in
like
order
it.
to keep the crown on your head.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.